Imagine a time machine. Picture yourself stepping into this incredible device, capable of whisking you away to any moment in the past. It allows us to travel back in time. Think about the endless possibilities of revisiting historical events or personal moments. We can't change the past, but we can think about it. We can reflect on what happened and imagine how things might have been different. We can imagine different choices. Every decision we made led us to where we are now. But what if we had chosen differently? What if we had made a different decision? How would our lives have changed? These are the questions that the third conditional helps us explore. This is where the third conditional comes in. It's a grammatical structure that allows us to talk about hypothetical situations in the past. The third conditional helps us explore possibilities. It lets us delve into the realm of what might have been and consider alternative outcomes. It lets us talk about things that could have happened but didn't. For instance, if you had studied harder, you might have passed that difficult exam. It's about what-ifs in the past. These sentences allow us to express our thoughts about missed opportunities and alternate realities. Think of a missed train. Imagine standing on the platform watching the train speed away, knowing you were just a few minutes too late. Imagine you missed your train. What if you had left home earlier? Would you have caught it? These are the kinds of scenarios the third conditional helps us explore. What if you had left home earlier? Would you have caught the train and arrived at your destination on time? The third conditional allows us to ponder these questions. Would you have caught it? This type of sentence structure helps us to think about the consequences of our actions and decisions. The third conditional lets us talk about this. It provides a way to discuss how different actions could have led to different outcomes. This type of sentence is useful for storytelling. It allows writers and speakers to create rich, imaginative narratives that explore alternate histories. It's also helpful for expressing regret or for analyzing past situations. We often use the third conditional to talk about things we wish had happened differently. Let's explore how these sentences work. By understanding the structure and usage of the third conditional, we can better express our thoughts about the past and its possibilities. Third conditional sentences have two parts. These sentences are used to talk about situations in the past that did not happen. They help us imagine what could have been if things had gone differently. This is why they are often called imaginary or hypothetical sentences. The first part starts with if. This is known as the if clause. It sets up the condition or the situation that we are imagining. This is the if clause. It talks about the imagined past situation. For example, if I had studied harder is an if clause. It makes us think about a past action that did not happen. It talks about the imagined past situation. This clause is crucial because it sets the stage for the rest of the sentence. It helps us understand what the speaker is imagining. The second part is the main clause. This part of the sentence explains the imagined result of the condition. It tells us what would have happened if the condition in the if clause had been met. It explains the imagined result. For example, I would have passed the exam is a main clause. It tells us the outcome of the imagined situation. The result is in the past too. This means that both the condition and the result are things that did not actually happen. They are purely hypothetical. Let's look at the structure. The if clause uses the past perfect tense. This tense is used to talk about actions that were completed before another action in the past. If plus, past perfect tense. For example, if I had eaten breakfast uses the past perfect tense to talk about an action that did not happen. Would have plus past participle. The main clause uses would have, followed by the past participle of the verb. This structure helps us understand the imagined result of the condition. For example, if I had eaten breakfast, I would have felt better. Here, had eaten is the past perfect tense, and would have felt is the main clause showing the imagined result. The if clause sets the scene. It tells us the imagined past event. This is important because it helps us understand the context of the sentence. It tells us the imagined past event. For example, if I had eaten breakfast, sets the scene for the rest of the sentence. Here, it is, if I had eaten breakfast. This clause helps us understand what the speaker is imagining. The main clause gives the imagined result. It tells us what would have happened if the condition in the if clause had been met. I would have felt better is the result. This clause helps us understand the outcome of the imagined situation. It didn't happen because the past event didn't happen. This means that the entire sentence is talking about a hypothetical situation that did not actually occur. Let's see more examples. If she had studied harder, she would have passed the test. If we had left on time, we wouldn't have missed the flight. If they had invited him, he would have come to the party. These sentences all follow the same pattern. They help us imagine different outcomes based on different past actions. The third conditional helps us learn from the past. We can think about our choices and we can imagine different possibilities. One common mistake is using would in the if clause. This is incorrect and can lead to confusion in understanding the intended meaning of the sentence. Incorrect. If I would have gone to bed early, I would have woken up refreshed. This sentence is grammatically incorrect because would should not be used in the if clause. Correct. If I'd gone to bed early, I would have woken up refreshed. Notice the use of had in the if clause, which correctly forms the past perfect tense. Remember, the if clause uses the past perfect tense. We use had, followed by the past participle, not would have. This is crucial for forming the third conditional correctly. Another common mistake is forgetting to include have in the main clause. This omission can change the meaning of the sentence and make it grammatically incorrect. Incorrect. If I had studied harder, I would pass the exam. This sentence is missing have after would, making it incorrect. Correct. If I had studied harder, I would have passed the exam. Including have after would completes the structure of the third conditional. Remember to always include have after would in the main clause. This completes the structure of the third conditional and ensures your sentence is grammatically correct. The third conditional is used to talk about hypothetical situations in the past that did not happen. It is important to use the correct structure to convey the intended meaning accurately. Practice forming sentences using the third conditional to become more comfortable with its structure. For example, if I had known about the meeting, I would have attended. By practicing regularly, you can avoid common mistakes and improve your overall grammar skills. Remember, attention to detail is key when learning and using new grammatical structures. In summary, avoid using would in the if clause and always include have after would in the main clause. These simple rules will help you master the third conditional and communicate more effectively. Section 5. Interactive practice exercises. Now let's practice. Complete the following sentences. 1. If I had known about the traffic, I take a different route. 2. She become a doctor if she had studied medicine. 3. If we booked a table, we wouldn't have had to wait so long. Alright, let's go over the answers now. 1. If I had known about the traffic, I a different route. 2. She a doctor if she had studied medicine. 3. If we a table, we wouldn't have had to wait so long. Section 6. Mixed conditional sentences. Sometimes we combine different conditional types. This creates a mixed conditional sentence. For example, we can combine the third conditional with the second conditional. If I had won the lottery last year, I would be traveling the world now. This sentence shows how a past event could have influenced our present situation. Although we didn't win the lottery, we can still imagine its impact on our present. Mixed conditionals can be a bit tricky, but with practice you can master them too. Section 7. Using third conditional sentences in everyday life. We use third conditional sentences in many situations. We use them to express regret. If I had listened to my mother, I wouldn't be in this mess. We use them to analyze past events. If the team had practiced harder, they might have won the championship. We even use them to tell stories. If the prince had arrived just 5 minutes later, he wouldn't have met Cinderella before midnight. The third conditional adds depth and complexity to our language. Section 8. Importance of mastering the third conditional. Mastering the third conditional helps us communicate more effectively. We can express complex ideas about the past. It allows us to discuss hypothetical situations and their potential outcomes. This grammatical structure is essential for fluency. It enriches our understanding of cause and effect. By using the third conditional, we can learn from the past. We can also develop our critical thinking skills. Section 9. Conclusion. The third conditional is a powerful tool. It unlocks a world of hypothetical possibilities in the past. By understanding its structure and usage, we can express a wider range of thoughts and ideas. Remember to practice using the third conditional in different contexts. This will help you become more confident and fluent in your English communication.